What's going on there, guys and girls? My name is Dodge Gaming, and today I would like to show you the video from me and two of my friends doing the Nightfall, distinctly underleveled. The Nightfall light level recommendation is 260, and Andrew and Johnny were 252, and I was 245. So I was 15 light levels below what they recommend. They were 8 light levels below. They've had a bit more luck with the loot than I have. The reason I'm introing it like this is because I got all the way to the end of the video, rendered it, did all the audio, exported the audio before I realised that I hadn't changed the setting in the Xbox audio settings to headphone and speakers. So the Elgato didn't pick up Johnny and Andy's voice, so we haven't got any TeamSpeak going on. I could have just put my voice in because I recorded that as a separate file. I could have just put that in the video, but then there would have been bits where I was talking to someone, there wasn't going to be any answer. So instead, I thought I would actually talk you through it. Now, I won't talk you through the beginning of the strike. You watch this bit, skip this bit, whatever. I will talk about the end fight with the Wretched boss and the ogre as well, and how to deal with it if you're having trouble with a 3-man, because we gave it a few tries, but there is a very specific way of dealing with it. So yeah. Before I shut up and let you watch the video, if you do enjoy it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. All the support helps. And yeah, I will be doing more and more Destiny content, hopefully, as more and more interesting stuff comes out. So yeah, do enjoy this, leave a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in about 10-15 minutes. Peace.
Picking up one more node. Let's go get it. That's the last node. Security protocols are clear and hackable.
Push forward, Guardian.
The splicers have fortified the entrance. We've got heavy resistance.
They must have driven the hive deeper into the silos. Fight through it.
New SIVA energy spikes below us. Multiple nodes, all powering another barrier. But I can't nail down their locations. The readings are too sporadic.
You know what to do, Guardian. Find those nodes, unload on them, and keep moving.
hard to get a clean reading down here. Keep moving. The closer we get to each node, the easier they are to match. Looks like the splicers have taken this hatchery. The hive bioorganic architecture is still intact, but there are microbursts of SIVA activity all around us.
I got no pity to spare for the hive. Keep going.
All right, still getting strong SIVA readings. There must be another node. Did it? No idea what those nodes were protecting, but the barrier's down.
You're all that stands between the Splicer's High Priest and whatever mad science he's cooking up down there. End this.
This doesn't look good.
Did you find the High Priest?
Not exactly. Let's get a closer look at that thing.
Right there, guys, how are you doing?
So that's disgusting.
Here is the bit of the strike where you're probably going to have all of the issues. I'll just wait until these guys have stopped talking. There we go, he stopped talking. Right, so you have the ogre in the middle. He stays chained until you've taken down a fifth or a sixth of the main boss's damage. Main boss's health. What you need here are arc sniper rifles. As you can tell in the bottom left, I had an arc shotgun equipped because I didn't realise my 1,000-yard stare was arc until about the 4th or 5th time we died, basically. After we all switched, so we all had sniper rifles, it became significantly easier, so make sure you have a arc long-range secondary. A fusion rifle will probably be okay, but you do have to get kind of close for that, so I wouldn't recommend it. First point I want to say, the ogre will aggro on one person, and it seems to be, we haven't confirmed this, it seems to be that he aggroes on the person that's doing the most damage at the time, in general. Not just to the boss, but whoever's killing the most ads, all that sort of stuff. It will aggro on them. You can draw the ogre's aggro by shooting him and getting a little bit closer to him than is comfortable. But once you have him, you have to keep it. So you will see at a few points during this final fight where me and Johnny, who are both Titans, are jumping over the ogre over and over again. That's because the ground pound area of effect melee doesn't affect you that high up. So if you jump over the ogre, he will melee and won't hurt you at all. So you can train the ogre, as it were, which is a Call of Duty Zombies term. You can get him to just follow you. Look, right there, you can see I'm shooting him in the back. He switches aggro to me, so I'm just waiting for him, and you should see me jump over him, I think. I could be wrong here. Either that or I'm just going to run away from him. I can't remember when we figured out that you can jump over him. It obviously wasn't now. But yeah, you can train the ogre. You can gain the aggro and get the aggro, the ogre to follow you and just you. So when this is happening, it's best to stay away from your teammates. See, at this moment, both Johnny and Andrew are dead. I'm the only one alive. It's exposure, and I've got no shields left, basically. So anything hits me, and I'm going to die like that. So you want to avoid that, and that death there brings me to my next point. The shanks will spawn up above and drop down through the air slowly, and will be able to shoot you from when they spawn in. So they will act like almost an aerial assault when they spawn in. So you need to deal with those quick. They're actually probably the first things you need to deal with when they happen. You can ignore the ogre, because with exposure on, you can tank one melee from an ogre, possibly two if you're high enough light level. So the ogre's not actually a problem for the most part. And it's just best to keep him off the teammates that are more well equipped, so that was kind of my job. And yeah, the Shanks will spawn next to each pillar, drop down. You need to deal with those because, especially with arc burn on, those Shanks will melt. Those Shanks kill me in 5 or 6 shots. I mean, admittedly, I'm very low level, but they were killing Andrew and Johnny with no issue as well. So you have to keep an eye on them. But as you can see, what I'm doing here is I'm just keeping DPS on the boss with Red Death while waiting for the Ogre to break out, switch to Quillums, get a couple of shots in. It's all about it's carefully managing ads while keeping an eye on the Ogre and the Archon guy, the Kel. The other slight mechanic there is to this is every so often the Kel will teleport to you. It just happens. It seems to teleport randomly, but there's going to be at least one time in the strike where you're unlucky and he spawns on top of you. If this happens, don't dilly-dally at all, because his melee, his area effect melee, it one-hit me, even with only a little bit of health left on from the exposure shield. He one-hit me with no issue. Yeah. If you're doing this strike this week, I recommend going as 3 arc classes, because it's obviously arc burn. And see, there you go. I had half of my shields left from exposure, and ground pound killed me. So you have to be wary of how much shields you've got left. He definitely would one-shot me in place if there wasn't an exposure. He would definitely have one-shot me. So, like if I had full shield, that is. But yeah, if you're going to load into, because it's arc burn, load in with 3 arc classes, I recommend at least 1 Stormcaller for ad control, because about halfway through this strike, a lot of Vandals with, I believe, wire rifles spawn in at the top where the boss spawns in originally, and they can ruin you. So you need to kill those quick, so Stormcaller helps. And as you can see here, this is what I'm on about. Johnny is currently training the Ogre, just backing up, waiting for him to get close enough, doing some damage, and then doing this. Look, ready? Jumps over the Ogre, and you can see he goes for the ground pound, but doesn't damage him. He takes no damage from that. That is essentially all of the tricks to this strike. Staying alive is imperative, because even on arc burn, that Void Ogre gun that the Kel has, the Wretched Eye gun, is ridiculous. It can snipe you, and it will melt if it even hits you, so you have to be careful. But as you can see, Johnny here, as you can see there, Johnny was trying to train the Ogre, and I'm aware that he's capable of doing more DPS than me, so I'm trying to grab the Ogre's attention onto me so I can train it, because Johnny does much more DPS than me at his current light level. So I was trying to grab the attention, but in the end it didn't work too well because Johnny had to run away from the purple eye beam. So now, if I remember rightly, I put some DPS onto the boss, like this. See what I mean by the purple eye beam? Can hit you from miles away. Right now, see, I take the Ogre's aggro, and in the process get Andrew up. Yeah, and that is about all there is to this strike, guys. It's a very fun Nightfall, I'm not going to lie. All the beginning bit is easy, to be honest. I died quite a few times just because I was Ramboing it a little bit. And then, this is the other mechanic to the strike. You get the boss to around half health, just below, and the Ogre goes mad. Gets this red glowy shit, and moves so fast that you will actually find it quite hard to run away from him and put any distance between you. And it becomes very hard to do the training technique on this Ogre because he closes that ground so much that you're more likely to bounce off of him. And there you go. So he caught up to me so quickly that I couldn't recover and killed me. This portion of the strike becomes very hectic very quickly. I recommend before you do it, if you're having issues, assign someone to train the Ogre. A Titan probably is going to be the easiest way to do it because of the lift. Have them put max agility on so he can put distance between the Ogre when this stage happens. Because if you look how quickly he's getting to Johnny, Johnny doesn't have time to turn around, jump up, and get over the Ogre. So at the moment he's just trying to put some space, and now he's going to go back and get me up. So yeah, that's all the mechanics of this strike. It's a very fun Nightfall strike. The rewards we got were less than what we desired, I think, really, especially for me, considering on the lowest light level here. But the boss gets very low here. I do think we die one more time, I think, before this strike finishes. So yeah, anyway, that's the end of my advice for this strike. But essentially just add control, keep one eye on the Ogre at all times, because sometimes he will switch targets, and keep one eye on where the Kel is teleporting to. And as you can see there as well, that's something else I'd like to mention. The Kel beam didn't switch targets to me. It concentrated on Johnny. Even that entire time, even though I run through the field of fire, it didn't switch to me. So the Kel seems to aggro on one person for a short amount of time as well, which is great. Actually, it makes avoiding the beam that much easier. See, at the moment he's aggroed on me. I'm kind of out strafing it. Anyway, yeah, that's all the advice I've got for this strike, guys. So if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The rewards are towards the end. If you want to skip forward, you can. If you want to see the rest of the fight, you can. But yeah, it's a very fun strike. I like the mechanics. I like the multitasking you need to do, and I especially like the double enemy thing. That's quite cool. I quite like that. So yeah, do enjoy the video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Let's get a closer look at that thing. That ogre is... Well, that's disgusting.
A lot more where that came from if the High Priest isn't removed from the field.
Get a closer look at that thing. That ogre is... Well, that's disgusting.
A lot more where that came from if the High Priest isn't removed from the field.
What a mess. The High Priest wasn't looking to build a hive slave army. He was just removing their body parts to be joined with Siva.
Bioengineering's become the Splicers' main MO. We're lucky to have dropped their High Priest before he could perfect any of this madness, but it's gotta make you wonder. What other perversions are they planning?